All right. Welcome to Morning Coffee Part 2. I'm going to go ahead and record the rest of my announcements and things that didn't happen with the first broadcast this morning. I got a message. Internet went out, and after 30 seconds of it being down, it would not the stream wouldn't reconnect. So I'm going to wait and see if a few more of you hung around and are watching. And I'll cover a few announcements, and then we will leave it at that and get together again tomorrow. So, all right. What I was talking about when things were interrupted is I've got a wedding this afternoon. Cassie, screaming goat. Yeah, there you go. Few folks are rolling back in. It's a shame all I have is coffee. Good news is the stream held up yesterday in worship with a whole lot more people, and the church connection held up. So that was good. I see some folks are starting to roll in. I'm going to post this as Coffee Time Part 2, and folks can kind of catch up with where things were at. While folks are rolling in, I'll do some announcement stuff right now, and then I'll go back to chatting on the other issues. As far as the daily broadcast schedule, there's a new one that's listed for today. I was scheduled to do learning time today at noon, but because of this wedding I'm going to be doing this afternoon, I'm not going to be able to do that. However, game time is still on at 7 o'clock this evening. So come on back tonight. We're going to do life stories, and I am looking for someone to take it over for next week. So I'll provide you with game recommendations, trivia things, and that's the intention, is just to get together at home or together as groups, use the live chat, and share stories. So life stories works well. Trivial Pursuit would be a fantastic game to use with this, and pull out questions and have people answer those. So I am looking for an MC to take over game night starting next week. And I've got a whole list of resources that you can use for that. But no learning time this week. We'll pick that up next Monday, and we'll talk about picking Bibles. However, chapter by chapter, the reading through Matthew's Gospel, one chapter at a time, that will start Tuesday and Thursday. Pastor Mel Jacob and Pastor Roger Preen are going to be working with that. And then Mary Jacob will be leading prayer time Wednesday at noon. So all those things are coming in place. Kids Story Time is on for 8 o'clock this coming Wednesday. So that will be happening. And the virtual concert series is up. If you go, and it's on demand rather than live. We're hoping down the road, once we get through some of the worst of what's happening right now, we will be able to do some live concerts from the sanctuary. But at this point, at least through April, or until we get an all clear, we're going to really avoid using the building very much, other than to go in and broadcast services, and keep it pretty limited to that, so everyone can stay in shelter in place. So, but we hope if you go to our YouTube page where this resides, you will see a folder now, a playlist for virtual concert series. And there are more and more musical performances that are being populated there. So do be sure to check that out. Looks like we're hanging at about 4 viewers. So I am guessing the other folks who had tuned in kind of are at the point where, well, PT's wireless crashed. So it is what it is. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a wedding today. And church tradition for centuries has been you don't do baptisms or weddings during Holy Week. But this is not a typical time. This is not a typical Holy Week. Folks have made mention that, we've had plagues before, and the church has weathered them, and the church has adapted, and that's most certainly true. What is different compared to other times when the church has been caught up in a situation like this is that we, instead of staying isolated in our homes and unable to communicate, this provides the means for us to gather. And for this particular family, there are some issues that came up, that the wedding had to be canceled a few weeks down the road, but they wanted the wedding to take place, and for all the right reasons. And so we will celebrate. There will be a wedding and a celebration of young life and young love in the midst of anxiety and facing death. There's a fantasy series that I like called The Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, the Unbeliever. It's by an author named Stephen Donaldson. And the main character in the book, Thomas Covenant, is an anti-hero. He is not a likable person. But he gets transported from our world, a 20th century world in this case, into this fantasy realm. And one of the customs and sayings in that fantasy realm is when you find yourself in a place of deep darkness and sorrow and fear, one needs to laugh and remember there is still joy and hope in the world. And so people will share the saying, joy is in the ears that hear. And so that is, I think, a wise perspective. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. And I'll share more about that during coffee time tomorrow. But we will have a wedding, socially distant, 8-9 people, wearing masks, and we will celebrate life. Let's see what else. Celebrating life. A big shout out to Dick Schneeberger and the small group of folks we had come out and put the Christmas lights up on the bell tower. We will be turning those on probably Thursday or Friday. We're trying to we're going to be putting out publicity to the local TV stations, as well as making contacts with Advent Health, so that we can turn the lights on at a particular pre-planned time, so that people at Florida South can be prepared, both patients and workers can be prepared to look out the windows and see this light of hope come on. Mark Polad, who is home with a terrible head cold, is working on a special Facebook page that will go up this week as well. It's hashtag Lights for Hope. And once that goes up, we will be that night, we will encourage other places of worship throughout Central Florida and nationally to join us and light up their places of worship at night during this difficult time for our country and for the world, as prayers for those who are hospitalized and support for those who are working throughout all this as necessary workers. So that will be coming up as well. And it's nice to see a few more folks jump in. Yep, my internet cut out, flat, nothing else. And so that's why I'm going to finish this up with a second little item to share with you all. Lastly, this is for St. John members. You should have received a text message about an upcoming congregational meeting. The date has yet to be set, but we wanted to get word out. Churches are eligible for the CARE payroll forgivable loans that the government is putting out. So we are doing research to see if that is going to be a suitable match for us. But we wanted to set a date because processing is happening right now. So we want to be sure we have a date set to talk about it while at the same time doing the research to make sure it's going to be a right fit for us. So watch for that. But in the meantime, a very strong encouragement for everyone to sign up for electronic giving so our giving levels can be maintained as well as possible. All right. Well, we are at a little bit past 10:30. This has been chopped up into 2 blocks because of losing the internet connection. So hopefully tomorrow it will hold better. We'll keep working at that, and I'll still be broadcasting from here. The one thing that will happen is unless it completely cuts off like it did today, I can usually keep the stream running and keep recording. So with that being said, everyone take care today. Pray for me and for the couple for the wedding that we'll be doing today. And I'll share more with that. Continue to pray for each other and a little bit of joy tonight. Hope to see you back for game night tonight, 7 o'clock. With that being said, let us close together by praying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Keep coming back, folks. See you tonight.